But yeah, like we said, anything that you may want cut, just say it, and then I rather
Cut.
Cut now. But we also, our thing is bantering, so.
Yeah, I love banter.
Okay, good. So you can mess with us. Don't feel like
I gotta forgot. Gotta use this thing. I'm a shit talker. I'm sponsored by Monster. You guys gonna have any issues with Dan? Dan knows obviously I'm sponsored by Monster.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Absolutely fine.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, especially because you have a relationship. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, right off the bat, pop quiz. When did we first meet, me and you?
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
Put him on the spot.
Hey. You probably can remember better than me.
Oh, I do.
Was it alcohol involved or was it soda?
No. Actually, no, we were sober.
Fair question.
Good question. If I was to say a lucky guess.
I was like barely in the space at the time. So you wouldn't have like really remembered me at the time.
Would I say maybe like an Olympia Expo, maybe?
I'm sponsored by Ghost now. It was, but I was working with Rain.
Oh.
Yeah. So you were doing a meet and greet, and I was like, I guess one of the models that like gives out drinks and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, bro. Unless you want to be called a model. No.
Yeah,
You're one of the Jack dudes who are working on the booth, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But anyway, that's where I first met you.
What event?
Was that?
Which one was it?
Olympia 2022.
Oh, okay.
2, 3?
Don't look at me. I wasn't there.
When was it?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, help me out here, bro.
Probably 22, because I wasn't in there yet.
Oh, yeah, okay.
No, but it was a good while ago. But you were super genuine at the time and everything. So
hopefully I'm at the time still genuine too.
Yeah.
But to find out.
If we were going to rip it from the top, I'm all about like hearing stories, like you just said, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and for me, it's not being in the shoes I'm in right now.
Okay.
I guess the first experience I had with some of the bodybuilders that I met, that are now my friends, weren't the best. So I made it a point that no matter who somebody is, top of the tree or the bottom of the tree, you know, you treat somebody how they want to be treated themselves, co-workers, whoever it is. And through having that sort of mentality, somebody who stood in line for me 2 hours, multiple stories of this, are now either doing business with me or we've done business together. But they always remember that first interaction. And with you guys now doing what you're doing, the new blood, you know, that interaction is so important. Right, because them the guys and girls that'll be in the comment section, supporting everything that you do, cheering you on, even though you may have the chance not to even get in front of them again, they'll always remember that first interaction, right? So, and I think a lot of the people now from the old school bodybuilding that I was coming from, where everything was interaction, now with the social media age, you know, the social media age, I feel, has just put a spin so much on well, fucking hell, compared to what I was doing. Like, there's so much pressure involved now with social media because you can have such an incredible page, do one wrong thing, and now with all these social media outlets that just wants to throw you under the bus because that's their business model, all that hard work is gone just on one bad interaction. So
True.
It is hot as balls in here, right? Or is it just all this heat coming off these guys?
Yeah, it could be a mix. We
just did it.
Rep.
Yeah,
these guys just come out of the gym too. They had a nice little pump on, so I got to stand here and pretend I got a little bit of a bicep left.
Yeah, right. Your
But,
calves do enough justice.
Yeah, we always start off that was probably one of the best ways to start off. That was wise words right there. And I'm sure you're going to spit more knowledge, but I'll hurry up and hit an intro. And then you can introduce them. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to A Thing with a Pump, where we get the pump and then we pod. Unfortunately, today we didn't get a pump with our guests, but me and Luke just did 1,000 reps for shoulder day, so we're feeling it.
Yes,
but
sir.
Luke, go
Yes,
ahead
sir.
and introduce our special guest.
Flex Lewis, 7-time Mr. Olympia. It's an honor to have you on.
Thank you, guys.
We're in
Thank you.
currently in Las Vegas, Nevada, at Dragon's Lair, which Flex owns, right?
I do.
Yeah.
And now I've had the chance to get you guys through the doors a few times.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Including today. Unfortunately, I wasn't there to join you.
Yeah.
You know, but you could say in the outtakes that you guys put me through a workout and this is what happened.
Exactly.
I think you might just have to say that we just. I don't know. I don't think people would be too happy with that. I think people would probably be mad that we were the reason you. What is the injury exactly?
So I tore the bicep tendon, distal tear.
Okay.
And it was holding on by a thread. So when I got into surgery, I knew I was going to have surgery. I work on my body every day for the last 20 years. And when I seen that I had torn it, that realization, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I knew if I'm going to, like anything in life, if I do something, I'm going to do it right. So I can't tear a bicep muscle. I've got to do the fucking tendon. Can we swear in this podcast, by the way?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good.
You do what you want.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, good, because I
do your
swear.
thing.
So, and if you want me to tell you the story on how it happened.
I would love that.
Yeah. So, day one of vacation last year, I tore my tricep.
Oof.
Vacation?
Day one of vacation, I was doing an appearance in the Cayman Islands, and the appearance part, the business part, I don't class as vacation. I ended up extending my stay. Day one there, boom. And like anything else, continued the vacation. Didn't want it to be like sour grapes or anything like that. Fuck it, it's hanging on. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
Day one of vacation this year, tore my bicep.
No shit.
So I think the rule of thumb is just put me in bubble wrap until day 2, right?
Yeah.
But
no lifting on day 1.
but this was honestly a fluke, just like last year. And well, long story short, I was riding around with the electric bikes and quad bikes, having a lot of fun. I'm friends with the Diesel Brothers. I don't know if you know them guys. They're big on Discovery, YouTube. So they brought all their toys down, and we have an annual vacation every single year, and we go crazy on all the toys. And this year I was riding around with my son. We got back to the house, the kids run off, started playing, and I guess my son wanted to get back on the bike, and instead of kind of tugging my shorts or calling daddy's name, he reached up, grabbed the throttle and whiskey throttled it. Me and the bike, whoop, and he held on and went with the bike, and to be honest, I didn't even know I tore my bicep for several hours. So he was fine. That was the main thing for me and my wife, and we thought, that's it, vacation is done, because he got a little scratched up too. But badge of honor for my son. What a stud. It was him. He had some road rash on his legs, but he was just showing it off to all weekend. He was like, look at me, and he had his band-aids on. He was a champ. He was rocking it. And then Daddy was like, oh, look at Daddy. But I didn't tell anybody, and we just went, buck shit crazy on everything else. The last, the remaining days of vacation, I had a blast. And I told my friends the day that I came out of surgery, I told everybody, blanket text everybody, all right, before this post goes out, this is what's happened, and everybody who I was on vacation with as well. Nobody knew.
Jeez.
So just me and my wife. I was like, babe, not telling anybody. I'm going to truck on, because think about this. If I told everybody, they're going to be like, oh, let's change plans.
Yeah.
How's your arm? Are you okay? They
Yeah.
want none of that.
Right.
Mentality. It's all this. That's my kind of overarching mantra.
Yeah.
Mentality is everything. So I just had to condition my mind. It's like, hey, we're on vacation. If this tears more, so be it.
Oof.
I know I'm having surgery anyway.
Yeah. So you could see the disformity, like.
Yeah.
So could you tell? Did it rip up like a typical bicep tear?
No. So this had a small separation between my forearm and my insertion into my bicep. So it was kind of about this big.
Okay.
And at the time, I think it was like 1.5 centimeters when I had the initial MRI. But by the time I had the MRI and I had surgery, I torn it more. Because again, I've got a 3-year-old. Daddy's got to wrestle. Daddy's got to do daddy stuff, throwing my kid around the pool.
Damn right.
It's like, ah! Babe, I think I torn it again. She's like, you need to calm down. I was like, babe, this is the last chance I'm going to have to play with my boy before I'm in a cast for summer. So I was like, it sucks. And that's the hardest thing about this. Because I can't, literally do what I was doing prior to vacation with the kids. Now summer's in full effect. It sucks. It sucks not being able to do that. But everything else, again, I got my mind around it, and I see this as an opportunity. A lot of other people that have hit me up, top guys, good friends of mine, be like, hey, how's your mindset? Great. I seen this straight away as, okay, what can I get out of this? Not just being still, because I'm a fucking lunatic. You can ask Alexis over there. I don't like to sit still, but this is me being able to be like, okay, now I'm in this. What can I do that I wasn't able to do when I was running around just on a daily? So it's been a blessing, and that's the way you got to look at it. God has a plan, and this is part of it. And I've been able to pour into things that I've spoken about or put a little watering into, and now I have to, take that idea, and I've been able to run with it. So we're working on some really cool stuff right now that I wouldn't have been able to do or wouldn't have thought about doing had it not been for this. And also there's another lot of opportunities from the monetary standpoint from me being in this. So everything is an opportunity.
Heck yeah. It's all about how you look at things.
Exactly. I'm looking at every day as something that I can do to get closer to getting back in the gym, no question. But also, what story can I tell by being in this? The story of this has happened not once, not twice. And in fact, if I go back to when I was 15, I'm lucky to be even in bodybuilding because I was half a centimeter away from having my arm amputated coming off a motocross bike at 15. So this left arm has gone through the shit, let me tell you.
It's always the same arm, huh?
But
you tore your tricep on that arm as well?
I did. And I came back from that too.
Jeez.
Yeah. These arms used to be 20, I think I taped them up like 21 3/4 or 22.
Something like
No, let's not talk about them. They be back, though. They be back.
Heck yeah, that's the mindset.
It's the mindset.
So you're going through all of this vacation. What was the pain index? Like, you had to like strut through that?
Good question.
It was just aching. Were you taking a lot of Advil or something like that?
No, I didn't.
Drinking?
I didn't take a single thing. I'm going to sit like this.
The drinks help?
Tequila?
No, there's a family vacation. It was PG 13.
Okay.
But I didn't take any ibuprofen or anything like that. That's why I didn't bruise.
True.
I didn't have any bruising. I just seen like the actual TED itself. But no, I just had the mentality of being like, okay, listen, this has happened. Let's get back out on the bikes. Let's go off-roading. Let's do all. I mean, when I tell you, shout out my boy, The Muscle, when he brought in all the toys down, Diesel Dave as well. Like, they bring everything down. So we have all the kids are all on their stuff. The adults are doing their adult stuff.
Yep.
But no, vacation didn't change. I probably went harder, to be honest.
Yeah.
I was so pissed off it happened. So disappointed that I'm here again. I mean, I knew I was gonna have an operation. That I was just like, I gotta live this. And you got one life, I dedicated myself 20 years to chase titles. And a lot of my contracts back then, I couldn't get on a motorbike, I couldn't get on jet skis, I couldn't do it. I'd done it all. I was jumping out of planes, I was doing all kinds of shit because I come from rugby.
Yeah.
Us guys are built differently, mentality-wise. I came into bodybuilding because I wanted a free gym membership. Somebody said, you could do well in bodybuilding. I ended up winning that show. And then they were like, you got to do the British Nationals. No, I won the British Nationals. And next thing I'm on a plane to America and training in Gold's Gym. It was like bing, bang, boom for me. So that's that awesome. Young mentality that I had, crazy, has been with me the rest of my life. Of course, listen, it's my job. And there's a massive, serious tone to what I do, but then you got to live life too, and I've traveled around the world. I've been given experiences to do a lot of cool things and be around a lot of incredible things, a lot of incredible people. And when somebody says to me, hey, have you ever wakeboarded before? No. And you've got the world champion, and I'm obviously sponsored by Monster, and all these guys are like, we'll teach you how to wakeboard. You don't say no to that because a piece of paper says you can't.
Yeah.
You do it.
Right.
So that's what I mean. But live your life.
Damn right. Absolutely.
Live your life.
You did a lot of cool stuff and try to go kind of in a timeline, I guess. So you're from the UK, correct?
Yes.
So you live here now. When did you finally make the move?
I came out here when I was 19 for a photo shoot with Flex magazine. So I'd won, 20 at that point in time. It was young, 19, 20. Okay. And I came out here and I'd done a Flex magazine insert, couple of pages. And that actually article, there was no social media back then. It was all print. Yep. So that article really blew me up for a young kid. But I was all legs. Mm-hmm. My legs were of a Mr. class, and my upper body was of a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
Like I had little arms, little chest, little back, bigger than the average. Right. But it was not, or no question, like my lower body. So I just loved training legs, rugby days as well. So that really pushed me, certainly against the guys that were at the same age bracket. So the US Flex magazine, having done a lot of stuff in UK Flex magazine, they put me on a plane and I came out here and I was like, whoa, this is America.
Yeah.
I mean, let me give you a visual. Yeah. And bear in mind, I come from Wales, country that's, amazing country, rains a lot. So it's very green. When it's cold, it's cold. When it's hot, it's cold. Okay. You know that mentality. And when I got out to the US, I was like staying in Ed Connors, who owned Gold's Gym, Venice Beach, the Mecca. I was staying in his house. And I just remember waking up earlier than everybody else because of jet lag, standing on this guy's balcony, and I just remember all these chicks running past in bikinis, and everybody was just fit, and I was like, whoa, this is unbelievable. And then going into Gold's Gym for the first time at that age and being like, man, the first day I got in there was Jean-Claude Van Damme, Bruce Willis, Vitaly Klitschko. There was Tito Raymond, Michael Hearn. Who else was there? It was just a savage row of everybody. And then there was the bodybuilders. And that's when Gold's Gym was Gold's Gym. So it was literally, the magazine came alive to me. Mm-hmm. So I knew straight there and then, like, I'd started up my first business at 19, a moving company. And I was going back home, working, saving up, coming back out.
Wow.
Going back home, working hard, saving up, coming back out. And I would come back on the 90-day visa, come here for 90 days, go back. So it was, and that's a story in itself, but I just seen, when I had the exposure to the United States, I was like, this is where I want to be. I had no fear. I just felt my cup was full every time I come back here. And I knew then, when you kind of have that feeling, it's like, man, I've got to be here. I didn't know anybody. I only knew one person. That was the person that paid for my ticket to come out here, which is the owner of Gold's.
That's scary.
And I didn't feel it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I didn't. The only thing I was scared of was kind of like, let me think, the crazy crackheads on the boardwalk at that time. But that was it.
Right.
That was it. I mean, I grew up on, you remember, Cops, Baywatch, and all the American TV shows. Mm-hmm. So I thought about myself like, shit, I better watch out. I'm going to be smoked by a freaking chick in a bikini. And that's my biggest fear. Yeah. But it was not anything that I had any fear from. I just knew that I had to be here. Yeah. And I just knew that in my core. Mm-hmm. And that's what I done. I made plans. Cutting a lot of timeline short, but going back and forth, I knew then I just started solidifying this mindset to be like, I've got to be there.
So you're 19, 20. What age did you permanently move to America?
Permanently 23.
23, so 3
So
years.
from 19 to 23, I was coming back and forth periodically. And obviously, money wasn't great at first, but then my business started blowing up. So I had a moving company called Lift and Shift.
Hell yeah.
And I grew that successfully. I had 3 Young Businessman of the Year awards. Grew this business from literally nothing. Nobody thought it was going to work. I had 11 employees. I had 2 trucks. We were working 2 to 3 jobs a day. And then I was like, man, this doesn't fill my cup. I got to get on the plane and leave it all. And I did. And I came to the United States and slept on a sofa for a year and a half just to chase this goal and this dream. And I knew it was going to pan out. Even in the days that were shit at the fan, and I was like, fuck, like, nothing is happening. Every time I jumped on a call, my parents, they were like, hey, you coming home? I was like, no, guess what? I had a small little article in Flex magazine. Oh, I met this person. And it was networking. And then until you have a little break and you don't rely on that break, you see that break as another door, and then you keep on kicking in the doors and kicking more doors and get in front of new people in new rooms and just let your personality as well as your physique do the talking. And that's why I was able to get a lot of success at a very young age, because I came in with a business mentality. Most people were kind of, doing things a little differently. I came in this, I was like, listen, I'm leaving all our money on the table back home. If this doesn't work out monetary wise, then the chase is the chase, but I have to have some sort of foundation money to be able to survive.
Yeah.
But more than anything else, I just had this fire in my belly that it was going to work. I had zero doubts. It's crazy looking back because it's a different chapter. Uh-huh. It's like a different person, to be honest, because I changed that mindset, but I never once thought it was going to fail. Wow. Even when shit was going wrong, I just never once thought it was just another deviated road. GPS system still going to get me there.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you like manifested it, huh? And you just felt like you just visualized it till it came to reality, huh?
Yeah, and at that time, you got to remember too, I was fucking delusional, if you want to say that, because Ronnie Coleman was the champion. Yeah. And there was no weight divisions. There was no 212, there was no classic physique, there was no physique class, there was none of that. It was just open.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm going to do this.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's delusional, right? Delusional confidence. I think that's something that's stapled on my back somewhere. Delusional confidence. I think that can get you in so many different places and open so many doors. When you have confidence is great, right? But a little bit of delusional confidence there's nothing wrong with that too.
I feel like that's what gets you to that next level.
It is. And even if you get to a level and the door is shut, that delusional confidence makes sure that you keep on fucking hitting that door.
Yeah.
You know, you don't give up. You keep on knocking.
That's a great point. Yeah, if you're delusional, you're not going to give up.
No.
You have
No.
so much. You're overly confident, which is a good thing.
Yeah, but I was never cocky, right?
That's good.
There's a big difference. I feel like there's a big difference between confidence and cockiness. You know, a cockiness is somebody walking into a room, telling your accolades, saying this is what I've done, or in whatever manner. That cockiness can be in so many different categories. But when it comes to confidence, it's a fine line. And this is why I say to people too, like when they meet me on an expo and then they see me on stage, my mannerisms, that's a different fucking guy. Let's make that very clear. When I walk on that stage, I'm Flex fucking Lewis.
Damn right.
That is a switch that goes off. And everybody on that stage is trying to take bread from my family. And they're my friends.
Yeah.
But nobody's going to do anything on that stage that I haven't been prepared for. And I've made sure that every sacrifice, every commitment, every single gram that I've weighed out, every cardio session that I've done, every training session has all been done to the T. I can look back on my heart of hearts. I've never missed a single cardio session. I've never missed a single meal or eaten more. I've never cheated. You know, these guys like, oh, I know my body better. I never was that guy. Because if the coach is changing something, he's changing something based on what he's done and what he's seeing in front of you. And myself and Neil have been working together for 20 years, so nobody knows me better than him.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to me walking on that stage, I have done everything in my being to know I can win this. And then it's up to the judges.
Yeah.
But that mentality I've had since the very first show, where a competitor told me, they see me backstage, I was super nervous because I only want to do this for a free gym membership, right? And he was like, young buck, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Why are you nervous? Nobody knows you out there. And I was like, oh, this family man. I said, bro, he said something like, you got to switch your alter ego on. And that was one of the biggest things that hit home. And I couldn't even tell you who this guy is. He was just there. Placed in my way just before I walked on stage. And that alter ego, you should have seen it. I got a routine that I can, give you guys if you want to see it. I walked on, I looked like a right confident little fucker. But backstage, I was a mess. But then every single show, I remember, like, when I started getting into the nerves, it's like alter ego.
Yeah.
It's the brand. It's the guy who is winning all the shows. But then you put that down. A lot of people who get success start bleeding in the brand to who they are. And then you hear the stories of, oh, you've changed, all this stuff. Some people do, money changes you, success changes you. I align with people who do dope fucking shit, build brands, got a lot of fuck you money, and you won't even know. They're humble as pie,
Yeah.
I love being around people like that.
You know what that reminds me of? The backstage, like when you were nervous and then when you got out on stage, the alter ego. That reminds me of like the Mike. Do you ever hear Mike Tyson talk about that?
Yeah.
Where he was like intimidated, he was scared, he was backstage,
Crying.
he was nervous. Yeah, just crying. And he's when I got out there, I felt like a monster.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah.
I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
I never heard that until later on in life, of course. But I can relate to it. Obviously I'm not going to fight physically anybody there.
Right. It's
But
the
I do
same
know
thing.
that feeling of fighting because I used to box. And also, rugby's got its own punches and kicks too, right?
True.
Yeah.
But
it's a tough sport.
It's the best. All my scars, my hands are all, I'll show you later. But that mentality of implementing war into workouts, implementing that mentality into anything you do. Like for me, making that 212 class weight was horrible. Like 6 weeks out, I was ready, and like literally ready to walk on stage. And the scale was telling me I was 222. And I'd be like, where am I going to get this 10 pounds from? Sometimes 224. It's like, where am I going to get this 12 pounds from? And my coach, that's what my coach's job was, to be like, hey, we get it off. So it was hard for me to see the best version of myself 6 weeks out. And then fast forward 6 weeks later, it's kind of like a deflated version of it.
Right.
That's why everybody, including myself, was so excited to see me going up in the open class, which obviously never ended up happening. But that was a rough, tough last probably three years, because once I hit that weight cap at the top end of the weight, I was coming in every Mr. Olympia like 211.10, 211, yeah.
How was trying to cut, like getting those last few pounds off? Was it brutal?
I would say 2 weeks out, from 6 weeks to 2 weeks out, that 4 weeks was horrible. Horrible. I mean,
What do you remember?
Sitting on the edge of my bed, absolutely exhausted, giving myself a pep talk to put my shoes on.
Oh, man.
Damn.
I had blisters in between my feet. I had blisters on my heels because it was cardio.
Oh, damn. You don't even think
I
about
was
that.
mentally weak, physically weak, and I just had to go like, okay. And then I had to think like, everybody's in the same boat. Who wants it more? You want it more, and it's the pep talk. And then as the years went by, new additions started happening. My daughter was born, and then it's like, it's for your daughter. It's amazing. You guys have kids?
Not yet.
Okay. If you in the future have kids, you'll understand this sentence right now. But there's a gear that goes off in your head when you when you find out that you're going to be a dad, and then when it's reality, it's like, oh my God. Before it was just, I was doing it for me and my wife, And then I'm doing it now for a much bigger reason outside of the bodybuilding legacy. It's like, okay, Daddy's going to win, and Daddy's going to bring you up on stage. I want that photo. So whatever that why was.
Yeah.
And every year had to have a why, because when you've done 7 Mr. Olympias, right, a lot of people get off the gas. Look at fighting, right? You see people who will be up at 5 in the morning, or bodybuilding too, but they're there, they're doing the 5-mile run, they're doing whatever they need to do to chase the title. And when they get the title, it comes with all the fame. Hey, come in the nightclub, I'll pay you 10 grand. Come to this place, I'll take care of you there. I'll do that. The 5 a.m. run don't happen anymore.
Yeah.
So even when I was at the top, I had to negate, I had to kind of separate what was really going to keep me in that title race, and also the benefits of the doors opening as being a champion, because there's a lot of distractions, and money is a big distraction. It's like, do I want the title, or do I want to go somewhere here on the weekend and distract me? So that was a constant battle, 7 years. So the why is going back to that. The why for me, the first year, was all the sacrifice, sleeping on a sofa for a year and a half, doing all the unseen stuff that I probably can't even remember right now, that I put into a safe and locked the door on. But then winning it was like, oh my gosh, I done it. But then you quickly realize, well, for me anyway, I couldn't call myself a champion until I defended it.
Yes.
True.
So I had to defend it. So then the way was the defense. Then the third year was the 50th anniversary. The fourth year was my wife. We found out my wife was we were pregnant. My wife's pregnant. So with Addie. So then was like, okay, she's in the belly. Let's do this. The 5th year was getting my daughter on stage. The 6th year was going to be my last show, and that's the year that my training partner Dallas McCarver passed away. So I couldn't go out on that.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to get my head back in the game just through that. And then the last number 7 was for me. For me, on my terms, and what I'd done in that show, over any other show I've ever done, was be present. I'm so militant, I'm so forward-thinking that I was never present in any of the Olympias. I couldn't tell you, they all fucking blend in. They're all a blur. But the last one, I remember seeing my parents, I remember seeing in the audience, I remember seeing and feeling certain things, the heat on the stage, the crowd, and I tried to be present. And unknowing to me, that was going to be my last Olympia, because I was going to the open class, and I just didn't know. So, fucking hell, I've gone way off your question, bro. Sorry.
No, that's great.
That was awesome.
Yeah. If you want to talk some shit and banter, we could do that too. I don't want to be so...
No. That's perfect. You explained that very well.
Okay.
Like, you had a why for each year. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I think everybody should have a why.
Uh-huh.
Even you guys, right? I think... Well, I know. It's not I think. Everybody's moving and grooving so fast. Like look at since we've met, right? Since I met you in the rain booth to where you are now. Since I've seen you doing your stuff with Pat in New Jersey, right? You guys have come so far, and you're continuing to, put the bar up higher and higher. the only advice to I would say to you is just be present. You remind him, he reminds you. Like, yo, bro, how fucking dope is this?
Yeah.
Like, I'm around some cool people, and I kind of sometimes normalize it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. 5 years ago, I'd be like, yo, look who's fucking calling me to check in on your arm. You know, who's FaceTiming me? Who's, you know, friendships.
100%.
Doors are open, events, opportunities. And tell yourself, think about it maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, certainly probably 3 years ago, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You'd be like, whoa, opportunities are there. And it doesn't matter where you go from here. I think you need to sometimes just be present and just remind each other, be like, yo, bro, we done this together. This is a fucking cool opportunity, or look, this is wild. Even tonight, right?
Yeah.
Because you never know when the ride ends.
Yeah.
And not to sound, you know, morbid or you know, in any shape or way, but I've seen people who have taken for granted a lot of things, and then, you know, they get injured or whatever else. And even my story that I just told you, I wasn't present until the last show. That's 6 Olympias that I missed out on just being there. Wow. Because I was just so focused, which probably helped tremendously in that chase to retire undefeated and everything else. But certainly in my memory bank, you know, I got one show to remember when I did 23 pro show wins, I think.
That's insane.
All around the world.
I totally get that too, and we do try to like tell each
Great
other.
advice. Yeah, I feel like one of the big ones was the first power slap in UFC we went to, because we went to power slap, and then we went to UFC with the Ghost Crew.
Yeah.
Then we went to dinner after, and it was just like, damn, that was a great weekend.
Yeah, we always try to like when we split up from like the crowd and the night's like starting to like end, and we're just like, damn, bro, like we just met this guy and we just did this and we were just at UFC and we had good tickets and it was an insane night, and we try to always like remind each other to like be present right now, because like this is happening right now.
Yeah.
There are the times when like you feel like it's kind of normal and you kind of forget about it though. So that's great advice.
Yeah,
right.
And I normalize, like, honestly, sometimes it's when my friends from back home will be like, no names mentioned, but they'd be like, what the fuck, bro? I'm like, yeah, you know, we've known each other a couple of years. He's at the house, or, you know, whatever else.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, yeah, optics.
Yeah.
You know, because for us, we've worked so hard to get into a room. We work so hard to make something happen, physique-wise, changes, whatever else. But then you're kind of caught up in that work, and you're like, yeah, I justified getting you. But then when you're there, it's just be like, whoa. The celebration of everything is being present, to be like, yeah, I worked hard to get here, and this is the results. You know, whatever that means to you.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's amazing. That's awesome. So real.
Kind of throw you off there, didn't I?
Yeah, no, that's so real. It's so real.
Yeah.
It's so accurate and so relatable, you know? And I could see, it's awesome.
For me, listen, guys, I don't come from, I come from very humble beginnings. So, and not to say that somebody who's born into, you know, money or anything else doesn't have hardships. I think that anybody who's come from very humble beginnings, when they're able to open doors and keep on chasing, it means a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And I'm only doing this just based on the general consensus of the people that I know that have come from nothing, that have been able to do something and change lives in the process. And I know where I come from. I mean, listen, I've been in this country more than half of my life. So I came here at 19 first. I'm 42 right now. Oh no, what the fuck am I? 41 right now. I've forgotten after 40, I gotta be honest with you.
That's amazing.
It fucking sucks, guys. Enjoy. You guys are in your 20s, right?
Yeah.
How old do you think?
26.
Perfect.
25.
Let's go.
Wow. Okay.
Let's go.
It's the beard. He's the old one.
I'm the older one. I'm 28.
Oh, dang. Okay. Yeah. Well, both have got baby faces, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, stay away from Vegas, son.
All right. I know. I've seen a lot of.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck was going on now. Yeah, 40. Yeah, so half my life. Sorry, and I came here with this accent. I may have changed certain words, But you see my gym, my country's flag is a dragon. I'm very patriotic. I know where I come from. I've never forgotten. You know, a lot of people will come to the United States and just, my past is my past. For me, I embrace it. I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for the foundations and all the lessons and all the hardships that I've gone through. And there's a tattoo on my arm that I had when I was 15 years old of my Welsh flag. Yeah. I told you a little bit of an idiot. And the gym is full of dragons, which is my country's flag. And they call me the Welsh Dragon. I got this Welsh accent that I don't even want to get rid of. I change certain words. I slow myself down, believe it or not. But again, I'm very prideful because when I go back home, then people can say, it's like, this guy hasn't changed.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. No, I love that. Show you're proud of where you're from.
Very proud.
Good.
Very proud.
I love
I'm very proud of anybody that comes from Wales that is able to, do anything at any magnitude. Because you get it here too, but I feel like sometimes there's a little bit of the tall poppy syndrome. You get so big, people want to cut you down. They support you. It's like, oh, you're too big, cut you down.
Yep.
And anybody can get through that time, which I went through as well, then you're kind of in your own category.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will adhere to what everybody else is saying because they don't want to, feel like they're not part of the cool kids club, so they're like, okay, I'm happy where I am. And content is death. Being content is death. You can't fucking settling down. There's always another run. There's always another chase. And for me, I came here and my chase was the Mr. Olympia. From the moment I got into the United States, I was like, I want to train to be on that Mr. Olympia stage. And then when the classes got added, the 212 class, which was at 202 at the time, I was like, I'm going to be Mr. Olympia. That mindset was forged, and I made a plan.
And when you made that plan, that next competition, that was it?
The 202 was for 2 years. So I came third in my first Mr. Olympia. And I was with Gaspari Nutrition at the time. And this was the boom of social media. So, double-edged sword.
Right.
I had a massive skyrocket of success, especially as a shorter bodybuilder. And a lot of different countries, Asia, different parts of the world can relate more to a shorter bodybuilder. So I was on the road. I was doing, 1 year I'd done 120 appearances.
Jeez.
Yes.
Whoa. What year is this?
This was 2007, and I done my first pro show 2008.
Okay.
Or was it actually 2008? So my first pro show was the Tampa Pro. I came second to the guy who ended up winning that year was David Henry. I won my second pro show, beat a lot of different vets, and the third show then was Mr. Olympia. I came third. Then I went on the road.
Okay.
And I went it was crazy because back then social media, as I said, was so new. Print was massive. And I'd be turning up, land in Australia, and they had trucks with my, face all over them, the Gaspari ads. I'd get to these supplement stores, the sign-ins, and we would do 2 or 3 a day, and the line would be down the block. I'd be plastered all over the external part of the windows, and we just couldn't get through enough fans. Then we'd jump from that supplement store to drive to another supplement store 30 minutes away, and the line was there, and people were driving with us, next to us, all the way to the next store. Jeez. And that was going on all the time, and then you kind of get lost in the sauce. So how do you train after a day like that?
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was thinking.
And I was trying to make it happen. So unfortunately, with all them appearances, and don't get me wrong, it grew my fan base tremendously. But
absolutely.
Then trying to train for a Mr. Olympia, just a focus of 8 weeks before a show, I went from 3rd to 5th.
Oh.
Yeah.
This was 202.
Okay.
And then the 212 class got announced, and I was like, that is mine. That is mine. And there was a different mentality and a different plan of action. And when I knew that 212 class was going to open the doors to a lot of other competitors that couldn't make the 202 class, because there's a lot of light heavyweights couldn't make that 202.
Yeah.
Now there was a bigger pool, a lot more different competition, a lot of OGs from the open class were coming down in. So I was like, this is mine. And then I put my blinkers on, and I just started training for the show whilst traveling, but I had more of a strategy to the 212 than I did for the 202, because I feel it was like rookie mistakes. the apprenticeship kind of phase.
Okay.
But again, I was still traveling around the world, but I cut out a time before the show to make sure that's all I done. No traveling, no matter what money or guest postings were thrown in front of me. No, my goal was to win the show. And that was the year that I won. My first title was 2011. And then I went on a streak then for 7 years. I never lost a point, never lost a show. So I ended up retiring from the 212 undefeated. With a record I don't think will ever be beaten.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
That's amazing.
That's Flex Lewis. Flex fucking Lewis came out there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what keeps you going now? Like, what's your, like...
A new why.
What?
A new why.
A new why.
A new why.
Exactly.
A new why. For me right now, I've got... The biggest drive for me is obviously my family. I'm a big family guy. I've got a lot of different things that... a lot of pokers in the fire. And I used to have a lot more. But I've gone through the phase of trying to be an entrepreneur and having 10 businesses and, and I don't know how you guys do your structure, but seemingly when you have a lot of different things going on, shit hits the fan all at the same time. So if you've got 10 problems that are magnetized tremendously. Yep. In my case, now I've streamlined that down to a handful of businesses, the gym being one of them. So I can just give my best version of myself and then come home from that and put the dad hat on. You have to have that balance.
Yeah.
So for me now, I've got a lot of cool things outside of the family that I'm working on. And I don't know if I should, can I say about, I'm working on a foundation.
Nice. Okay. That's awesome.
I'm working on a foundation. It's been 2 years in the making. It's kind of a fucking exclusive, to be honest, right? Why not?
This is an exclusive, everyone.
Yeah. And it's I just seen this happen so many times in no sport, where mental health is such a wrapped around conversation in preps, right? A lot of people will pour into preps and, they try to get the best out of that in their preps, and they come out of preps feeling the exact same way, if not worse. In fighting, you hear the storylines. In football, and in my case, retirement, I was at the top of the mountain, and then when I retired, it's just like, okay, it's great. Two years down the line, it's like, wow, I don't get that satisfaction that I used to do anymore. I used to have anymore. It doesn't come from business. It was that extremity of putting something in so physical that made you exhausted. Then when you got to the top, you earned it, right? And you can somewhat get some of the stuff out of business, but it's not the same, right? So when it comes to me personally, I had a hard time talking to anybody about this stuff because we all have badges of honors as guys, and it's a weakness, or you see it as weakness. And I just thought of like ways of how I can make that not be such a hard reach out. So right now we're in the development phase of putting together a foundation to align with the fitness industry and have an outlet for people when they're not doing well. I've lost a lot of friends, through suicide, and certainly during COVID when the gym was taken away from everybody. And I think it's a very important conversation to have to make sure that we have an outlet for athletes to talk to others on that can relate. And that's just part of the feathers in the hat as well as, growing brands and selling companies. That's my goal now.
That's amazing.
Build to sell.
That's a great foundation. So when is it? You said 2 years in the making?
Yeah, it's been 2 years in the making that I've touched in on, got distracted. Touched in on, got distracted. And in that 2 years, I just heard more and more stories, And it's about time now, with this arm being in the situation it is, to be like, yo, let's run with this. This is the time. Because if there's anybody that can really speak about this from his own shoes, is me. I use training as my outlet, and anytime I wasn't feeling good, I went in the gym and blasted myself, and there's nothing better. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And there's nothing better, and you just feel good about yourself. You've kicked the weight's ass, or maybe it's kicked your ass, And then you come home at the end of the day, it's like, okay, I feel better now. But when the gym is taken away from you, in this case me, 2 years in a row, it's like, what can you pour into, you know?
Right.
And if you don't have a strong mentality or ways of addressing things like restructuring your brain, like I had to, you know, find distractions. Okay, do this. Don't think about this, do this. Don't think of what you can't do. Think of what you can do right now. There's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with this. This arm is like, touch and go.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I mean? It's more so getting into the weeds of making sure that my brain is active.
Yep.
Because if you sit down, you feel sorry for yourself, and you see other people. Certainly, if I was in the competitive stage, it would be a fucking nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
Think about this. If it happened during my Olympia reign, I know how I'd be able to battle this.
Yeah.
And it happens a lot to a lot of athletes. So, it's a little bit of an exclusive, you know.
Yeah. No.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah,
Wasn't
that's
going
great.
to
That's
happen,
great.
just organically happened. I don't know if I'm in trouble by my PA over there.
Well,
Am I in trouble?
I might let it slide.
Okay.
Might let
okay.
us know.
We need to let us know.
But
that's-
it's all
yeah.
positive. I don't want it to sound
Yeah.
like this is a positive thing for the industry. It's a positive thing for a lot of people. And my goal is this, right? If I'm able to help one person, that's one person that has got a life that's still left to live.
Right.
And
what it's all
unfortunately, you know, some of the people that hurt the most are the ones that have the biggest smile on their face.
Have the biggest what?
Smile,
Well,
Yeah.
that's a great point.
right?
Yeah, men are a little different. A lot of men. Yeah, exactly like you said. So it's almost like we see it as weakness
Yeah,
if we talk
Yep.
about emotions or feelings. So that's great.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm still not that guy. So for
Right.
me, this is kind of like a way of maybe being a little bit better.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
if you ask me, it's like, hey, how are you doing, Fleck? Good.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
Good.
Doing
Like
alright.
my arm came out of surgery. How are you doing? Good. And then I got my friends, my boys, the ones that know me. You know, it's like, shut the fuck up. How are
Yeah.
you doing? I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I got some like toothache in my fucking arm.
Yeah.
2 days.
Mhm.
But again, like, listen, you talk about what isn't happening, and then it becomes your whole aura. But if you have that positive mentality and you speak it, and I told everybody, it's like, I think I told you guys last night when I seen you at Power Slap, you said, how was the arm going? I said, I'm going to fucking smoke this. Right?
Yep.
And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
it. And I will. And I feel it. Honestly, it transitions from here into there.
Damn right.
So, you know.
Just for me too, because I tore my pec, and we
Oh,
talked.
yeah?
I tore my pec in 2020, and like we make jokes about it now.
Why is you laughing?
Because we make jokes about it,
Okay.
and it's kind of like
It's a meme on the channel because every single podcast and every single vlog it comes up.
Yeah, kind of
I
like.
haven't heard this, bro. Tell me.
Yeah.
Forget this fucking guy.
Let's
Okay,
go.
go
Let's go. There's the scar.
Yep.
I tore my pec tendon, so like that was big for me. I wasn't competing or anything like that, but the gym's always been my life,
Yeah.
so I could relate a lot to like, you know, like saying I'm all right, but I'm not, and I definitely wasn't. But I was lucky enough and fortunate enough when I was still living at home that we had a garage gym. So like for me, my outlet was the gym, and when I tore that pec, the first thing I thought of is like, I'm not gonna be able to work out tomorrow.
Yeah.
And like that's always what made me feel better. So as soon as I got a sling on and I felt good enough, I was doing legs, just legs, going for a walk when I could right away. I needed that movement. I needed that
Movement.
I needed to feel something, and that's what got me through it. But I think what you're doing with your foundation is amazing because,
man.
like you said, like you're lucky that didn't happen during your Olympia run.
My God.
Like how that can affect a guy's mentality.
Yeah.
You know, when that's your identity, that's what you do, and then you see yourself like, you know, shrinking down. You're not allowed to train anymore. You need to relax. You need to
Yeah.
let this body part recover. It's like
It's tough.
It's tough. Yeah.
It's tough.
People don't realize how important the gym is to us gym rats or competitors at the highest level, whatever it is. But it's a massive toll. So I totally understand, and I think that's amazing that
Thank
you're
you,
coming
bro.
out with something like that.
And with all the storylines like COVID, when all the gyms shut down, and if you had something in a garage, you were like, thank God I've got this. But there was a lot of people that didn't.
I felt bad.
So,
I felt
know.
bad posting.
Well-
Like posting my workouts because I knew all the gyms were closed, and I felt bad like showing that I was lifting when people couldn't. Like I was like, dang.
I had a 9,000 square foot private gym.
Damn. Yeah.
I didn't fucking post a single video, not a
Right.
single photo.
Yeah.
To that point.
Exactly.
Because it's like, hey guys, watch me do, a whole chest workout today.
Yep.
Yeah.
The gym
When I-
big enough to fill.
Yeah. But we also during that time, COVID times, thank God I had this. I had one of my little bros, Rafael Brandão, big superstar bodybuilder out of Brazil. He was staying with me, so I had a good training partner as well. So we were able to train, and it was probably some of the best improvements I've ever made in my life, because there was no social media, there was no pressure from sponsors. There was, the only pressure I had was to get home for a certain time, because I'd be in the gym all day. It was great. It reminded me of what it was like to get into bodybuilding first.
Right.
And when I got into bodybuilding first, it was just the fun of training, the fun of just getting in there and kicking my own ass. And then as you evolve over the years, you got to have a camera every day. You got to post something. You start having to be creators, creating scheduling content, all wiped out. And I was like, whoa. This reminds me of like when I was 19, 20 for the first time, just getting into the gym and enjoying it. And it revived my passion for bodybuilding. It did.
It's awesome.
It just gave me another kind of wind under my sails. And, unbeknownst, like I said, to me, I was training for the Mr. Olympia Open class. I was sitting at 260 at the time in lean.
Jeez.
Yeah. Huge for me.
How does that feel at your height, 260 pounds? Do you remember like walking up the stairs and just like, what is that like?
I had to wear cycling shorts and everything, bro. My legs were chaffed to shit.
Yeah.
It was so big. I was so big. It was just rough across the board, but I normalized it. It's not like I got to 260. It was in incremental stages. So 250 for, maybe a year. Then I creeped up to like 255. Then I got to 260. And I've never been fat. This is not like, my face was fucking round as a ball, but I was lean, abs, veins, everything. But it was what I had to do. It was my job.
Yeah.
And in the comparison of me being at a lighter weight to then the 260, I mean, recovery and everything else was completely different. The amount of food, I was blending 4 meals a day to eat chicken breast and rice, and
As a shake?
As a shake.
Oh, I was gonna say, wait, you mean blended?
Yeah.
Blended. Wow.
I again, as you guys get to know me, I have a focus mentality. And for me, appetite has never been in my, my world, unfortunately. I get into a sport that, it revolves around the dinner table. You are what you eat. And I never had an appetite since a young kid. So I'm like, whoa, this sport, this world, you have to eat all this food. So from way back amateur days all the way up into my last show, I struggled with appetite. I'd be taking some sort of appetite enhancer in prep.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
Just to get my meals in, just going into a show. My appetite didn't kick in until about 3 weeks out of the show.
Wow.
So, that was the question you asked earlier. You asked me coming down from that weight. So at 3 weeks out, my metabolism just full. It was fast as hell, but then it just went on a different course. So from 3 weeks out to Olympia, I was having 3 cheat meals a day just to keep my weight on.
What?
Jeez.
It just went on overdrive. Boom. Just full thermostat, metabolism, sweats. And then, going into the show about 2 weeks out, one prep. I remember my coach, Neil Hill, had me eating sushi every third day. We were like, okay, we're going to eat it on this day. And then my weight was kept on going down. He's like, okay, go to an all-you-can-eat.
Yeah.
Go on all-you-can-eat sushi. Just stick in these parameters, okay. And then... it was a couple of days later, he was like, bro, you've lost another pound. And I had another cheat meal. So, and that's another thing too. I had a cheat meal by design, not cheating off my diet, by coach's program every single week, all the way up to the show.
Wow. Jeez.
I suffered my ass off, but I never suffered from having something once a week that I earned. Right. Sometimes it didn't happen because if my target weight wasn't met, but even when my weight wasn't coming down, I would still eat the cheat meal to spike my metabolism. So there's, shout out to Neil Hill, Yoda we call him. I don't know if you guys have met Neil, but unbelievable coach, and he's been with me since I was 19.
He was the coach through all 7 years? Wow.
No, bro.
What?
All my career.
Yeah.
Since I was 19.
Wow.
Over 20
loyalty.
years.
Loyalty for me. Listen, you can have your arguments and you can fall out with your friends and stuff like that, but not like, you guys have probably had your little spats and stuff. You're still bros. my coach is my coach. For me, we had a relationship in the off season, and then he'd tell me, it's like, okay, prep starts on Monday. I'm going to put that coach hat on. And he fucking did. And it was a hard adjustment for me every single year. Never got easier, because he went from being like bullshitting like this to be like, where's my fucking check-ins? It's like, oh, no, he's into this, bro. He's into this. You know, so yeah, that's our relationship. We wore two different hats, and it worked fantastically. But also, you have to remember too, you have to, as an athlete, you have to know, even when the coach is getting on your ass and even saying things that you don't like. For me, Coach Hill was the guy that got the best out of me. He was telling me things that I needed to hear, you know, not what I wanted to hear at times.
Right.
So I had to get my head around that every single year, but for the most part, you know, well, not for the most part, every show, once that clicked, I was like, okay, I understand. It's game time. Nobody wants me to win more than him. So let's fucking get another show. You know?
That's cool.
It's good. So it should be.
Yeah.
I think he knows your body better than you.
He says he does. I mean, he probably would. Bro, you're trying to throw me under the bus with this, because I think I know my body, but no, he definitely does. No, he definitely does.
No, of course you know your body, but I mean, if he was your same coach, I know a lot of people like that are competitors, like they switch through coaches and maybe, you know, go through different trials and tribulations, whatever. But like, that's insane to hear. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I don't think there's many people have been able to do that. Certainly since amateur.
Mm-hmm.
So when I done my first show, and going back to that time, I walked on stage and I turned into the alter ego. I done my prep for my first show out of a library book and a Flex magazine. I had no clue what I was doing. Wow. And I still done it. I was eating a depletion diet for like 12 weeks, no carbs. Well, I would have a couple of weeks to go by, and then I'm in the gym all fucking like this, and somebody, you know, the GYMBRO that knows everything. So when do you have how much carbs you had today? Oh, I haven't had anything. It's like, oh, have a potato. I was like, okay, I'll have a potato. I had no clue. So I'd have a potato, and then that would be enough to last me a couple more days. I was eating just vegetables and protein. Depletion.
Yeah.
I got there, I won, and on that stage, I'll tell you the story too. On that stage, he was the head judge. So I won my trophy walking back to the car with my parents, and this guy sticks his head out of the arena and is knocking my parents' window. And he's like, hey, I want to congratulate you. I'm Neil Hill, the judge. And I said, yes, I know who you are. He's like, you need to do the British. And I was like, I said, rugby season's kicking back in, and I was a fucking asshole too. Like I had no clue what I was doing, and my parents were the brunt of it, right? Just tired, moody, and they just couldn't wait for me to get back into rugby. You know, not fat and happy, but eating back to normal. And they just thought that was bodybuilding. But then he was like, you've got to do the British. And he kind of gave the whole Braveheart speech, minus the horse and the face paint, and, you know, fuck the English, fuck the Scottish.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, gotta fly the flag for the Welsh. I was like, damn. So I look at my parents, like, how long? 4 weeks. So he asked me more questions, like, who done your prep? I said, I done it on my own. He was like, drive to my house on Monday, and we'll sort out the show prep, and I'll help you out. And here we go. It was like 20-something years ago. Damn. And we ended up doing the British, winning that, the Europeans, Mr. Universe, multiple Mr. Wales, multiple Mr. Britons, and it's a story. The amateur days is a story in itself.
It's so cool.
Get this guy some energy drinks.
I know, right? I just
it's
had
hot
one
in
today.
here, bro. I know.
That's a great story. So he after he competed, just walked up to the car.
Yeah, I walked up to the car and knocked my parents' window and was like, hey, you need to represent Wales on the British stage. You know, Wales being a small country, right? We're kind of, you know, tiny in comparison to England. But back then, bodybuilding shows were packed out. In my junior class alone, I think it was like 10 to 12 under 19s. And it was packed. And then there's been much bigger shows with teenagers back then too. But, you know, the Mr. classes were packed out. There's no men's physique or anything like that. It was just juniors, which is under 21, and open class, different weight classes. And then fitness, I think fitness was there. But there was no men's physique. There was no classic or anything like that. But, you know, the evolution of the sport. But this this guy obviously seen something in me, and it was like, you got to represent, bro. And thank God he did, right?
Yeah, right. It's great. It's like one of those moments where you're just like, damn, this is weird. Like, I feel like I should listen to him.
Yeah.
Was it like one of those type of moments where you're just like, like you didn't know who he was, right?
I knew who he was.
You knew who he was.
I knew. And Neil, just to say this too, he was a top, one of the top guys in the UK at the time. He had turned pro. Again, there was no weight classes, so he went to the British Grand Prix and competed against Ronnie Coleman and Marcus Rule and Chris Cormier and all the top G's.
Damn.
And Neil was more of a lighter weight. He would have been a fantastic 212, absolutely peeled. So that's one of the reasons why I was like, okay, if you're going to get me in shape, I want to look like you. Get me peeled.
Yeah.
And there was a whole different suffering in that 4 weeks.
Yep.
I was pausing every day. I was doing all kinds of different movements, to bring out certain emphasis on body parts, and I was eating more food.
Damn.
I mean, I couldn't have eaten fucking less, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But I was eating significant amount more food. And I thought, this is a great diet. But then there was much more output that came with that food. It was putting food in the right areas
Right.
to utilize. And that difference between 4 weeks prior to then that British Nationals was massive.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's awesome. Yeah, talk about your country's flag. That the name makes sense now. Dragon's Lair.
Yeah.
That's where you got it from.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about opening the gym. Why Vegas? Why you want to do it here?
Good question. So I had the private facility in Boca Raton, and that came about because I was training in different gyms, and every time I would go to some of these gyms, I'd become like show and tell, bottom line. I'd be training for a show and somebody would come up, and every storyline you can think of, somebody is thinking of joining the gym, and I'm in prep, headphones on, and somebody would bring them from the front desk, hey, Flex, tell him why you should join the gym. I'm like, what? Tell him why you should, nice to meet you, pictures. It's hard to go in with a mentality of destruction and have these little interval, problematic situations. And some days were good, some days were bad. They were just becoming more and more consistent until one day I was a couple of weeks out from the Olympia, and I turn up and there's a massive group of people there clapping when I walk in, and they done an unbeknownst meet and greet.
Damn.
Yeah, come and meet Flex Lewis tomorrow at this time. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I drank my pre-workout outside. I was feeling a little spunky going in, dying obviously on the inside, and next thing I had to shake everybody's hand and talk and wish everybody well and whatever else I had to do there. But you can't take it out on the fans. I was pissed. I said, guys, you can't do this. You gotta just don't do this.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
And guess what? It happened again. So I went to my wife. I was like, well, my wife came to me. She said, babe, you know everybody in the fitness industry. You got so many plugs in the gym equipment space, used and new. And she was like, why don't you get a small warehouse and put some pieces in there, and you can just train in there for the Olympia. Interesting. I heard pieces of equipment. The small part, not so much. And I got a 9,000 square foot warehouse in Boca Raton, which Boca Raton, as you know, is not freaking cheap, but I was like, this is an investment. That just putting the lights on, and the rent alone was 6 figures in that place, just to have my place up and running. But again, me doing that was a commitment. It was a commitment to what I was going to do come September every single year. So if I was fucking around, or if I was missing or slacking, it's like I'm investing all this money here that I could be doing into many other things. But this is my craft. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to leave my legacy in. So I'm opening up this place. And it sounds bougie, but now you see many athletes that are doing the same thing. Derek Lunsford has opened up a gym. Samson Doadar in the UK has got his own gym, because they're realizing some of the public gyms are just too much distraction. Not that they are too big to be going in there, not literally, but in fame-wise, it's more like you just don't know what is going to be waiting for you inside. And most of these guys I mentioned are more, they're nice guys. They're going to stop and talk and everything else. And that was becoming my daily day, where the people were kind of giving you the distance. But then when you kind of say hi, you guys know what I'm talking about. You say hi to one person in the gym, and then they're like, yo, what's up, bro?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was the case. So I ended up opening up this gym, the Dragon's Lair in Boca Raton, and filling it full of used gym equipment. So much so, like it was in rows. And you couldn't even walk in between equipment. You had to walk all the way down and back through the row because I just got everything. I sent a complete list. If I was on the road in different countries, I'd take a photo, send it to my boy. I was like, find this, find this, find this. And it was just a hodgepodge of every different colour. And as the years went on, Arsenal Strength, which is I'm a partner in, we started making more and more gym equipment. So we started getting rid of some of the pieces, and then when we had multiple different SKUs, I said, okay, this is the year. So I completely changed the gym. I used to it always looked like a gym that could be open to the public, but this was like this. It emulated like the first version of what this place looked like. Beautiful brand new flooring, brand new gym equipment, murals on the wall, everything that from optics of looking at my gym through social media, it looked like we were open to the public. So that's where we realized the demand, because we had literal fans sleeping in their cars waiting for athletes to turn up. It was wild.
Damn.
Yeah, and any athlete who was trained in my place knows this didn't happen once, didn't happen twice. This has happened in double digits, where people would sit outside the gym waiting for us, and these people drove hours hoping. We had people knocking the door, crying, asking if they could come in. And every time, and this is what I used to do different because of my friendships in MMA, I got this from them. They would bring in key athletes from around the world. Say somebody was a good striker, you know, in the UK, they would bring somebody in to camp. Somebody's a good grappler from Brazil, they would bring that guy in. So I'd done the same thing for bodybuilding. I looked at athletes who were young, hungry lion cubs and be like, you got good legs, I want to see what you're doing, come in, I'll get you tickets, stay with me. So we would do camp.
That's cool.
And I would get so much from these young guys because they're young, hungry, and they're driven, and I could see myself in them. You know, all these young guys, like now, they have a little fame, they got a chip in their shoulder. I know what I'm doing. Fuck you, you don't, bro. This is a fucking apprenticeship. You know, I served it. Ronnie served it. Jay has served it. Humble yourself. You don't know everything. You know, be around people who will kick your ass as you kick their ass. And that's what I wanted. I didn't want somebody that I was just going to dominate. I wanted somebody that was coming in, that turned up on time, appreciated the time that I poured into them. And I got, if not the exact same that they got out of me as I did out of them, because it's fun to pass back, and especially when you've got somebody that's just so appreciative of being in the scenario, right? And doesn't abuse the time and doesn't abuse any of the you know, the situation that they're in. They were, again, I've got multiple different people and they can all attest to this. I only had a few gym rules. Turn up at 11:30, we bullshit, we'll talk about, you know, how's your dog, or sorry this happened or whatever else. By 12 o'clock, militant mindset. No fucking around. This is business. When I kick your ass, it's your turn to get into my head and kick my ass. And it was fun. It was a fun mentality. There was nobody in the gym. There was nobody like, yo bro, how many more sets left in the set? It was just me. It was an empty gym. It was church.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. And this is how I ended up starting this place, because when I realized that the Boca Raton location, the private facility, had grown so big. I think we were like 100,000 followers in a private gym. No access.
Damn.
And I also realized how big it was too, because what I would do is I would open up the gym once or twice a year, kind of like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, you know?
Yeah.
And I would do a post 2 days before, and people would drive from all over. The gym would be a madhouse, absolute madhouse. And I didn't put any emphasis into making the event any bigger, because again, it didn't open but once or twice a year. So if somebody was a real fall of it, this is your 2-day advance, and people would fly in, drive in. We had people driving from Texas for 2 days to Florida. Damn. All the storylines. And that's when we realized, like, we've got something here. So when COVID happened, me and my wife looked at each other and said, we could open up a gym here in South Florida, but we've always wanted to have a secondary home on the West Coast, because I was doing a lot of stuff. I was having a lot of TV opportunities that I couldn't come to, you know, fly in 5 hours to have a little 30-minute coffee conversation about a fucking movie role or TV role. it was just rough and tough, especially when you're a dad. So this was like, okay, let's jump on a plane. We came out here during COVID, and it was weird as shit. We drove from the top of the strip all the way to the bottom, so basically MGM to the Strat. Didn't see one person. How eerie is that? Think about it. Not a homeless person, not a cop, not a cleaner, nothing.
That's eerie. That's freaky.
Me and Ali, my wife, we looked at each other like, we need to be here. We need to be here. When there's blood in the water, right? So, and one of my boys, Doug Green, who was building resorts. Well, you know my boy Doug, right? You guys have met Doug. He's friends with Dan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We had dinner.
Yeah, you had dinner. I remember he's telling me he was with you guys. Yes, good dude. So he was building the Zouk nightclub in Resorts World.
Okay.
So he was like, bro, you need to be out here. And me and Doug best friends. So he's like, you need to be out here. I was like, really, bro? He's like, yeah, a couple of gyms are shut before COVID. Like, I think it'd be good. So he says, just jump on a plane. And I came out, like I said, and we went back. We like kind of tossed things around, and we got back on another plane. And when we came out the second time, we found this building. And it was very hard to find anything, but this was kind of the best of both worlds, where it's close enough to the strip. But, you know, in this building right now, we're playing Tetris. You know, it's unfortunate. Tetris are the wrong pieces, as I call it, with certain amenities that we're missing. But this is the best that we could find during COVID. So we're in the process right now of doing 2.0, which is going to be 3 times bigger, and everything and all that you can ever think of will be under that roof. Oof. So, but yeah, so this place to me was the same mentality as I had for bodybuilding.
Yeah.
It's not going to fail. And I don't care who got in front of me and who tried to tell me reasons either why not to do certain things in a certain way, or, you know, not the best of motivational conversations, just kind of like, I was like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
This is going to happen. And now these guys are like, bro, I remember telling you, and I was fucking frightened for you. And I'm like, you had not a flinch of reaction. I remember having a lot of these conversations like, no, it's going to work. Delusional confidence.
Yep, always had the confidence. That's good. Wait, is 2.0 going to be in Vegas?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah?
Jumbo? And
you're going to keep this one? So it's just, this one's going to
This is going to, in some shape or form, sizzle into the next.
Okay.
So there's not going to be like, oh shit, the Dragon's Lens, you know, it's going to have some sort of bleed out process, my gum. Where, you know, again, what that happens during that time, nobody's going to be left with their pants on the floor, you know. This is going to be a well-designed bleed over, and, you know, a lot of the current members as well as the tourists, which, you know, we have more tourists than fans, more tourists than members.
Right.
That are going to be very happy with the next place, because the Dragon's Lair is an experience, right? And as you guys know, you've probably seen a lot of different people in that gym today that are not in the fitness industry, the one that we're in, but they're coming in every single day to chase their own fitness journey.
Yep, right.
But they're in different sports. They're in different, you know, organizations, or, you know, whatever the narrative is. They're all in here, from actors to directors to everybody in between. But everybody aligns when they're in here. It's a culture, it's a community, and iron sharpens iron. It's like somebody will see you guys training right now, and they'll just go up to you, I mean, one of the guys just popped his head in, right? They bust your balls, but they're like, bro, you're looking good. This gym is a gym of compliments. And it's a gym of progression. It's also a gym where we all want to see each other win. I've kicked people out because you don't fit that model.
Yeah.
I give a fuck how millions of followers you got. These are friends of mine. But like, yo, bro, one strike. That's it. You're on number 2 now. You got to go. Because if you allow that to be in your gym, it spreads like cancer.
Yep.
And then people are like, oh, I don't want to go to that gym because that dickhead trains there.
Yeah.
Don't happen to me,
That's
bro.
so
I'm
real.
the one paying the light bulb bills.
Yep.
Sorry. It ain't happening.
You have a good story about anything? You don't have to
Look
say
at
any.
this guy trying to get something out of me.
That sounds like or just like an example of like how someone was acting, and then you were like, all right, that's
fan interaction.
Okay.
I'm a big component of that.
Yes.
Fan interaction. So you can't be on Instagram and social media and posting and everything else and want to have the algorithm and engagement, and then when your physical engagement is in front of you, you don't want to do it.
Thank you.
It doesn't work like that, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you can't ask for it in the comment section. Then when you're in front of somebody, be like, no, I'm too big for photos, or no, bro, not today, bro.
Yeah,
No,
can't
it's
stand
not
that.
happening. Can't. It's just this is not the gym.
Right.
It might work in another gym in town. It ain't gonna work in my gym. And trust me, I understand too. As somebody who gets a lot of, as soon as I walk out there, there's fans sitting waiting. She's got 100 stories she could tell you.
Yeah.
But you don't. I've gone out there before and got mobbed.
Yeah.
And my intention was run to the toilet to pee, quick one, run back into a business meeting. I'm there 20 minutes, 30 minutes just to come and get me. Be like, hey, sorry, you got to grab him. But you can't, that's somebody's first impression. And that's the impression that they're going to go away with. So with these other interactions, it's just unnecessary. Also, just to preface this too, some of the fans, because I know myself, can be a little overbearing. They can be a little too much sometimes. You just say, hey, bro, tell you what, I got 30 minutes left of my session. I'll meet you at the front.
Right.
Do you mind if I just... And the majority, 99%, would say, no problem.
Yeah.
Right? And I wouldn't even want that person who paid for the day pass to come in if they were like, fuck you, bro. No, I want a photo right now.
Yeah.
I don't want you in my gym if that's you. But
Yeah.
when you are an athlete or you're a celebrity or anything like that, that's kind of part and parcel of your fame. And when you walk in this gym, everybody is like-mindedness, or you either get with the game or the game is somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's more interaction of fans, and I've kind of said, like, bro, you kind of have to chill out a little bit,
Yeah. No, I
Can't tell
love
you
that.
names.
Yeah.
But let's just say he had 5, 6 million, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I don't understand that. Like, I tell like when people or like fans recognize me, and then they'll tell me about like a bad interview. Like, oh, you were so cool. Like,
Yeah.
Like I didn't know. Like, why? I'm like, God, dude, like just a normal guy, man. Like, why wouldn't I be cool? He's like, oh, well, I've had issues. Like some people like brush me off. I'm like, that never made any sense to me, because especially nowadays, like you're intentionally posting to build a following. You're putting yourself out there, and to intentionally like gain a following. So for you to think that you're too good to just talk to someone for a few minutes and share a picture, share a convo,
I know.
it's so weird. I don't really understand where that mentality comes from. So I love the fact that you have the opposite, especially at your caliber.
Well, I just got a blueprint of seeing it in the physical form at the expos, then translated into the social media form,
Right.
to then marrying the both the best worlds.
Yep.
And with you guys, you're very likable through your Instagram, right? You guys are very engaging. But that's the truth, though, right?
Yeah.
Some people, hey guys,
Yeah.
and they still have a big following,
Yeah.
right? And in person, they might be the same, but people know what they're getting. You guys are very likable. You're very engaging. You do funny stuff. So when people do meet you, you have to live up to that too, right?
That's a good point.
Yes.
And that's what they're expecting when they meet you. So you kind of set your own bar, right? So if somebody is kind of monotone, and they're not going to expect a crackhead on the fucking booth, right? When they meet that person, they're going to be the exact same person, if not, close to in person. And that's the same thing for you guys, And you actually, I just thought about this. You guys missed out on a night when you came into town.
Yeah.
And you just bombed me out.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'll be back, Flex. And you just left me.
I think you left.
Yeah, you left.
No.
Yes.
So we got caught up with fans, and then we lost each other.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah.
the thing, too. We were in the T-Mobile, right?
Yeah.
I was with...
We were walking out together.
we were with Tyler Mannion,
Yes.
who was the VP for the IFBB. So I was hosting Tyler. We took him to a UFC fight. We run into each other a few times, and then you guys ended your night, the fight with a bang. And I was saying, okay, I'm going to take him out. And I think we go somewhere, and then after the T-Mobile, and then because I met up with Dan, and I met up with the DJs, the Stanton brothers. Oh my gosh, the DJ's name. I should know the DJ's name. But we were all together at the MGM. And you guys, these guys, they were just too busy taking photos of their fans.
Exactly.
Fucking assholes.
Yeah.
We were too busy for you because we were taking photos with the fans.
I just left these guys. I was like, oh, fuck this. This is not my photo opportunity.
Yeah, true.
These are not my fans.
Yeah.
They don't know who I am. No, I don't know what will happen. And we were getting pushed out.
Right.
Remember?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
because I took some photos of somebody, and I think we aligned. And then another group of people came, and then I took photos on the way out with I remember some Brazilian guys that were MMA fighters. But Yeah. But again, that just full circles unintentionally our conversation.
Yep.
Because if you were more interested in kind of like, oh fuck, we're going out or everything else, you know, the distraction, you were like, no, hey, I remember you speaking to you guys, hey, you were so receptive, you were like so cool with these guys, they were so happy. That's why you were doing this shit.
Right.
This is why we're here today. I love it too.
Yeah, never. I mean, I would never prioritize going out over stopping for something. Oh no, too busy right now.
Yeah, just preface to going out. It sounds like I'm going to go on a bender. I was going to get food.
Yeah.
Maybe something else, but
that's what happened. Like the Uber took forever. We spent like an hour trying to get the Uber and everything.
That's right. We were like stuck in like the middle of the street.
When we finally got it, in the middle of the highway or whatever. So by the time we got to our hotel, we were washed.
Yeah, I think you were telling us like where you were going or something like that, but we couldn't even leave. We couldn't get a ride, so it didn't even matter.
Yeah,
but like
we ended up
going good memory though.
Across the way, the MGM. What's that? What's across the way? The MGM. It's not MGM Grand.
What's across from MGM?
It's right opposite T-Mobile. Oh my gosh, they got the villas over there and stuff. There's a restaurant in there. That's what I met up with the guys. No, it's MGM or something, but
you would know.
Yeah, there was a little restaurant in there. We met up, kind of got away from the crowd, let things die down, and then you get your Ubers. Rookie mistake.
That's a good point. We'll take that tonight.
You should have taught us before you left us.
This guy.
You should have said, kept walking, don't stop in the crowd.
I was trying to drag you away.
Yeah.
I was, but again, look, you were doing business, and that's the whole point of what we just said, right? It's priorities, and people remember that. People remember how you make them feel. You know, 100%. You have the opportunity to make somebody feel a certain way. They'll walk away. They won't remember that conversation, maybe. But when they see you, like, oh yeah, that's a good dude.
Yeah.
You know? And I remember getting told that very, very early in my career.
Right. That's like the best thing to feel. Like when they're just like, you're a really nice dude, or like, you're a cool dude. I'm like, damn, thank you. Like that feels good too. Like so a lot of times I leave the interactions and I feel better. Right. Like you make my day. Yeah. Sometimes I'm like kind of like down on myself and whatever, and this guy would come up to me, it's like his eyes light up, and I'm just like, you know what? You know, whatever was bothering me, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
You know, like that's just like, thank you, man. You know, so.
When people say like, bro, you're so cool, I was like, yeah, stay away from my ex-girlfriends. They'll tell you a different story. There's always got to be humor in my conversations.
I'm going to use that. Act like I came up with it.
You say TM Flex Lewis.
I had a question. So you've been around the world a bunch.
Yep.
You loved America, right? When you originally moved here or started traveling. Where's your favorite place outside of America to travel? For like vacation, maybe with the family? Where's your favorite place?
Good question. I mean, I just like traveling. I was very blessed to travel the world before I got into bodybuilding because I played rugby, so I got to see Australia, I got to see different parts of Europe. And when it came to bodybuilding, family aside, a lot of countries are just so receptive, and every country is different. So what I'd find is, if you go to like Australia, you know, massive trip, you know, everybody who's taken that flight from Australia to come to the United States, they know the travel time. Fans are crazy. Fans are amazing. They're very receptive. They're very happy you've taken that trip to come. India, my gosh.
Yeah.
No disrespect to all my Indian fans and stuff, but that is a different level of fan base. Like, they have no conformity to lines. Me and Rich were working a booth in India. They blew the booth, and we got actually trampled into a corner, and the police came out with all the batons because people from the back are surging, and
they like circle you.
Yeah, and then when we tried to leave, we had to these guys were going through the crowd with their batons, opening the crowd up, and then we get into the car, and they're all driving next to us on their motorbikes, like 4 on a bike, taking photos, knocking your windows. I've never seen anything like that in my life. Right. I would say the best of both worlds, and literally I said this probably like an hour ago, Brazil.
Really?
Brazil is such a beautiful country, beautiful culture. Like everything in any country, you're going to have the good and the bad, and you know, it's not it's a country where there's true poverty. Like, you know, India has its poverty, Brazil has the favelas, and there's crime and everything else. But like every country, there's the other side to it, the beautiful side. And Brazil, I went there last year. I've been a few times, but last year was the last time I went, and it's crazy for me. Like, I changed hotels 3 times because I foolishly recorded out my window, and I went to breakfast the next day. There's a fucking mob of people there.
Oh,
Damn.
I done a whole podcast tour over in Brazil. Podcasts are TV because economic reasons, you know. YouTube is their TV.
Wow.
So everybody's got a phone. Everybody's got YouTube. So these stations, these podcast studios, are like full-blown TV stations.
Yep.
But they're podcast studios. So we would go to these, and we were doing like 3 a day. I was doing a lot of mainstream TV versions of podcasts. So of course, my attention in Brazil was building up. I get back to my hotel that night. Some people have been waiting there 6 hours. I was like, I text the people who brought me over. I was like, you got to change my hotel.
Yeah.
I go to another hotel. Same thing happened again. It was bananas, and I'm a big kick guy. I love my Travis Scotts. Everywhere I went, I brought a load of foolishly, but I don't give a fuck. But like a suitcase full of different kicks just because I wanted to mix it up.
Yeah.
And every big famous kick page had my shoes. Here's Flex Lewis day 1 wearing this. Here's Flex Lewis wearing this day 2. And think of every other different variable in between.
Wow.
So they're very big into fitness, and it's the reason why, you know, their athletes over there have massive followings. You know, millions of followers. I don't know what Hamon is right now, but he's probably like, you know, under 10 million or something like that, but he can't do anything. He's such a superstar over there. Unfortunately, he can't even take his kids to the park.
Jeez.
That's the type of fame that these Brazilian guys have, and I've seen it firsthand with my trips over there as well. So I think that is the rock star feeling of having all the places I've traveled to around the world all be put together, because I had a great time in Brazil. It wasn't like I felt it was just work.
Right.
It was just like, oh man, when you got into your hotel room, it was like, because as soon as you went through, you would come, even like get into the hotel, there were people in the lobby, you know. And by the time you get to the room, it was a whole, then you had to start planning and say, okay, if I leave this room right now to go and get food in the hotel, is it worth it? Because I'm just going to be talking or using Google Translate or something like that. So I'd have to call these guys.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah, it was just all these, and they were great. A lot of pre-planning. But in terms of where I've traveled with the family, we do so much stuff, mate. To be honest, it's just a lot of different places and different experiences, and that's now as my kids are getting older, just making more memories and having fun no matter where it is.
True.
Bottom line.
How old are they now?
My daughter is going to be turning 10 in November. She's a couple of days after me. And my son is 3.
3?
Yeah. And it's not like I you know.
What's the squat? What's the squat?
What's the squat?
Yeah, what's the squat?
Yeah, how much?
What's your squat?
405.
Yeah,
4'6", bro.
probably.
No, she is. She's definitely a firecracker. So is my son. You know, and they're definitely going to be. You know what? I don't care what they do as long as what they do is happy. But I don't know if I want them to come into the whole competitive bodybuilding space, fitness space. If they want to be in the fitness space and, you know, to live the lifestyle and everything else and do another sport or whatever else, more so for my son, because for me I feel it's a very hard mountain to climb after his dad has been to the top of it, and there's always going to be a comparison.
Yeah.
And I've seen it in other sports, and it's tough. Imagine like just getting up and doing what you need to do alone.
Right.
But if you had a dad, you know, it's happening in boxing, it's happening in bodybuilding, you know, you're always going to be compared to your dad.
Correct.
Tyson Fury.
That's a good point.
Tyson.
LeBron and Bronny.
Yeah, you look at you know, the from the boxing world to the bodybuilding world, Lee Labrada, Hunter Labrada, and Hunter's done a great job of branching off and doing his own thing, because that comparison now doesn't even be made.
Yeah.
But
that is a good point.
I think that would be the hardest thing for me if he said, Dad, I want to be a bodybuilder, you know, I want to do what you've done, and I'd be like, okay, but I'd be like, here's the pros and cons.
Right.
You just got to ignore it. You gotta have thick skin.
Yeah.
You gotta ignore the comments and just focus on. I don't even know if there will be fucking comments by the time he's old enough. Who knows what it will be like then? But
True.
It's gonna be whatever you're into. As long as you wake up and you're happy and you want to be doing what you're doing, that so be it. And there's gonna be tough days, and there's gonna be more of them tough days when you start prep. But if that's what you want to do, then go for it. But yeah, my kids are very socially active. They do a lot of different things, and they just eat good food. To be honest, they just like eating good food. They always revert to, chicken and rice and salmon and steak. Of course, they eat the snacks and everything else, but they just like eating good food.
I think you're afraid he's gonna get more Olympias than you.
I don't know about that, bro. I might have to pull the plug before he gets to 7, You can get a 6.
Yeah.
Let Daddy have his
6, then you take out his knees.
Oh, jeez, bro. I was just going to tell him take him out of the game. I said, don't take his knees out. Holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
You've thought about this too much.
My bad. Do you ever get compared to McGregor?
Oh, my God.
When you smile, you get it. Like, I see it a lot.
Yeah, it's a good thing and a bad thing. Certainly when you're at the UFC fights, it's
true.
Man, look at this guy. Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck is that guy?
Who the fuck is that
I get
guy?
it all.
Who the fuck is that guy?
And we've had some fun with it too.
Yeah.
I'll give you a story where a couple of the boys from the gym, we all took a trip out to Cabo, and we were staying at the Ritz. So we're in the pool, and me being me, I'm like at the front of the pack, just let's go over here. And all the guys I'm with, some of them are former WWE guys, some of them are football boys, some of them are bodybuilders. One of the guys you've seen earlier, Joey, he was there. And we're all in the pool, and the guys, the people in the pool are coming up to one of the biggest guys who looks like my security. And it's like, is that who you think it is? Is that who we think it is? And my friend's like, Flex?
Yeah.
No, it's not. And whatever the scenario was, but they were like, Conor McGregor. And my friend, because I heard the story, right? Because he told the story to us. He said, my friend's fucking, yes, it is. So all weekend, I had no clue.
Yeah.
So all these people are trying to, come up to me and talk to me, and the whole Ritz all thought it was Conor McGregor. So I was walking into Starbucks, and I'd order Starbucks, and people were like, hey, how are you? But kind of like a little bit edgy, a little. The dial is turned up a little bit. Hey, good to see you again. How are you? How's your trip? How was your vacation? And coffee's on us. It's like, and then my friend had to fucking pay. It's like, what's going on here? So everything, through all the resorts, everybody thought it was Conor McGregor. I don't know why, but I've had so many different things where people will come up to me, airports especially. Are you who I think you are?
Yeah.
Are you who you think you are? And I'm like, who do you think I am? Conor? I'm like, nah. And then with my accent, that's another thing. In the Ritz, I'd be like, I'm not Conor McGregor. It's okay. It's like, it's my accent.
Yeah.
It's okay, we won't say anything.
Yo,
That's funny.
Fuck.
Do you tell them no, and they're like, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
That's insane.
But again, look optics. I'm at the pool with all these big dudes. I'm like the smallest of the lot of them. I'm kind of leading the pack, walking all year and everywhere. And let's go over here, let's go in the pool, whatever else. And yeah.
That's funny.
It just looks like
doing
it.
the arm swing. That's why.
I did do it after I found out, because I did get
that's
told
so
of it at
funny.
one point in time, but we played into it. But again, with people who have come up to me and asked me, am I Conor McGregor? I've also had people come up to me and I've assumed they've thought it was Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
And I've said, no, I'm not Conor McGregor. And it's like, no, Flex Lewis, right? It's like, oh, fuck, no. I just take the picture. Because if somebody comes up to me and says, hey, can I get a picture? And then I get tagged in, or I don't get tagged in,
Yeah.
So if it's Conor's tagged in, it's kind of the wrong person. But me and Conor have talked about that too. So it's funny because
Oh, you guys.
yeah, we're both I've become a partner in bare knuckle fighting. So Conor is a partner in that as well. Max
knuckle?
Crosby, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And we've he gets that more than anybody else. Like, Flex Lewis, you guys look so much alike. Yeah, good guy.
Yeah,
Fucking crazy cunt.
Yeah.
Excuse my language, bro. So
That's
Conor.
great. That's funny.
Yeah. So it's yes, it's going to be a skit, I think, at some point in time.
It should
You
be.
definitely
I got a vision for this skit. Maybe I'll run something through you guys, because you guys get your finger on the pulse. We could do a skit.
Shoot us a message.
Yeah.
It's funny because I've never really put that together until when we sat down for the podcast and you started like making certain facial expressions. I was like, damn.
And a laugh as well, people say. I don't know. And I'm not changing my laugh. I'm not changing my laugh to sound like Conor McGregor too. I think it's my laugh sounds like his on certain reaction. So it's not like, oh my God, I'm going to laugh differently. You know, it's just a spontaneous little laugh.
Right.
But so it's a good comparison when he's not in trouble.
Right.
But when
Yeah.
I don't want to say too much.
When he's not in trouble.
That's what I was thinking. I did just think it's funny they thought you were Conor, but like minus the huge chest tat.
But that's the thing.
Yeah.
I'll say something funny that we spoke about the other day. So I had a meeting with Monster. Was it yesterday? Oh my God! So yesterday this story came up. So when I was signed with Monster, I just won the Olympia. I was at the Conor McGregor Khabib fight, ringside.
That's sick.
Yeah, unbelievable. The build up, the noise, it was just electric. And then the fight happens. And of course, Khabib ends up beating Conor, and then Khabib jumps out to the octagon, literally not that far away from me. And all of us were supposed to have these kind of metal chairs to take away with. And they've never done this before, but they had the Conor's face and Khabib's face and the UFC number it was on. Shit. When all that kicked off, them chairs were going everywhere. People were throwing stuff, and because we were on the floor, we were getting hit with a lot of stuff.
Damn.
So, can you remember that when that situation happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, he jumped out
happened?
to beat Dylan Dennis.
And then he got back in the ring and everything else. When I tell you this, and this is I don't want it to sound like I'm talking down on the UFC, because the UFC are absolutely incredible. They can't control this. I remember being on the floor, looking up at the arena and seeing pockets of fights everywhere.
Really?
Everywhere. Ireland versus Russia.
Oh my God.
Guess what? Who looks like fucking Conor McGregor? Me.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I'm on the floor and I turn to my boss, Monster, and I'm like, bro, what are we doing? He's like, so the security shut everything down. We were on the floor, and then I could like feel like, this tension building up. So finally they allowed us to get out, and I had to walk literally with my head, my hands on the back of his shoulders, walking through. But I'm just such a nosy fucker. I kept on looking up because it was just pandemonium everywhere. It was Russia versus Ireland, all the way in the arena, all the way out.
Just
And
fights breaking
unfortunately,
out.
but it was like, like the rings, you're in school, like somebody's fighting.
Yeah.
There was all this stuff going on, and an Irish guy would get in the ring and the Russian guy would just knock him out. His Irish people laid out everywhere.
Oh,
the
God.
Russians were fucking bro.
Yeah,
it was no joke.
Crazy.
And then I'm thinking, keep your head down. My friend was like, keep your head down, because I thought, like, just looking like him,
Yeah.
I thought I was going to get some problems, but thankfully I was able to get out unscathed. But that wouldn't have been a good Conor McGregor relatable story to tell about, right? I got knocked out one day by a Russian at the Conor McGregor fight just because I looked at him. Thankfully none of that happened, but
That's good. That's funny. That was a good story.
Yeah. Little inside. I didn't know other fights were really breaking. I would assume so, because like when some people see a fight, they're just like, just looking for like eye contact. Someone to give you one more look. You're like, it's free for all now. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, it was a fun time. I don't know if I kind of looked like him then, because I was kind of I don't know, because I was post Olympia. I was still really lean.
You're jacked.
But I was probably big, yeah. But remember when Conor put some weight on?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I got a lot of the comparisons.
True.
A lot of the comparisons. Again, it's places in transitions, airports. People are coming and going, and people have to have a quick second glance to you. Las Vegas Strip. Like, that's a crazy thing for me. Like, when I go out, I got to have my guys with me, because there's a lot of fucking idiots that think I'm Conor McGregor,
Not that it's a bad comparison, but do you ever just think like, damn, like I'm way more jacked than Conor? Like,
yeah, it's just
like you're.
When I go out, I just want to blend into the crowd. I don't want to look like the jack guy.
No, I get that.
But unfortunately, not so much now, but of old,
But
it was pretty hard to consume 260 pounds under a fucking baggy shirt, you know. It still looked like there was something under there. But
not much you could do.
No.
well, no, I'm smaller, you know.
But still, if you wear shorts, it's very obvious.
It's
a
very
short sleeve
obvious.
shirt.
I know it is.
I bet you even look big in a suit. 100%.
For sure.
I do like that though. That polar opposite of looking like one guy, being in the gym shorts and then putting on a suit, and you know, it's like kind of like the Batman outfit for me, because I do a lot of events with suits, and a lot of people that you meet, you know, they're seeing you and judge. You know, they're talking to you as the presented front face, and then they get to see what's underneath the suit, and they're like, "Holy shit! I didn't even know that was under there." Well, that's the fucking point,
Right?
Yeah.
You know, I think that's something I like to do too. But I did mention Vegas, and I know we were speaking about this a little bit earlier. But Vegas, you guys have obviously got your own experiences with Vegas. I moved here 5 years ago. I love it, absolutely love it. Vegas to me is like my ADHD. There's something going on all the time, every distraction, every which way, and you can utilize, you know, what you need to in this town. You also can get hella distracted in this town.
Very true.
And there's always an event going on, and we joke because we say like no to 90% of the stuff, because every day there's something.
Yeah.
Every day somebody's coming through the gym. Oh, I've got this event going on tonight. Can you come and support this? I'd love to, but I can't. So before, when I moved here, I was like, yes, and then you realize like, oh, this is you know, we can't sustain this. This is not a good. Even though it's like great stuff, you know, we're not talking about, you know, out and about discos and fucking everything else. It was events, business meetings, whatever else, dinners. But now that I've kind of realized that Vegas is an animal, and you can either, you know, tame the animal and get a love of it. You know, it's never going to be your best friend because it's always moving and it's always doing something new. But you can also get eaten alive by that animal too.
Yeah.
So it's just finding yourself aligned in every which way. And for us with the gym here, there's the tourism, it's the doing the events such as UFC and Power Slap, and networking, bringing guys into the gym like yourselves and giving them a home from home when they're in town. That all plays its part, you know. And networking is massive in Las Vegas, and that's why I love it, you know. But I can get away with a lot of stuff. Yeah. So when people come in and say, hey, let's get dinner, or you know, we're doing this event, I was like, come over to the gym.
Yeah.
Come over to the gym. So it skips me from doing dinners and all of the above. But it's been a great couple of years here, and I can't see me going anywhere else. It's a great city, amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, looks like it worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
And then you get 2.0 coming, so.
Yeah.
2.0 coming, and I can't wait for you guys to get in there and have some fun too, shoot some content, and
yeah.
Heck yeah.
be creative and do some skits and whatever else. And hopefully next time you come, I'll be back in the game.
Absolutely. You're a busy man. Hopefully one day we could get you in one of those skits.
I love skits.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I used to do a lot myself.
Really?
I love comedy is a line to me. I just love it, but there's also a serious tone as well, and I think sometimes that the serious tone, certainly over the last couple of years, have kind of taken more of the inner child away from me, because, you know, you want to be seen as a certain person, and I think to myself, it's like, fuck it, I'll be seen now who I am. So I've done a lot of funny skits. I used to come up with them all on my own. I was sponsored by a betting app before, and comedy was my skits.
Oh heck yeah.
So so I'm all about that, you know, and obviously the other stuff too, you know, the serious notion of getting in and doing some real good value for the fans of training tips and tricks and everything else. So yeah, let's line up some stuff and have some fun. And I know I wasn't there to push you through 1,000 reps today, but I could have pushed you.
Yeah.
But you just decided to skip me and knock the door of the office and go on in yourself.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Were you here?
I was here.
Oh, wow.
I came in early.
We didn't know that.
No, we did not know that, by the way.
We thought we were waiting on you.
Yeah.
When we came in, I said, oh, the guys are here. And I even said to Alexis, if they're early, we can start earlier if you want. But then
That's
she
true.
said,
That's true. She did come.
Yeah.
We were about to.
She said, you're running late or something. I was like, okay.
That's
I'll
why
wait.
we were doing 1,000 reps. It's like we got to do it in like 45 minutes. So we were seeing how fast like we could get it done.
Did you get it done?
We got it done.
How was it?
I mean, it wasn't necessarily full range of motion, but
Partial reps are reps.
But reps are reps. So
It's all who you speak to. But some will agree, some will not.
Yeah.
But somebody out there will be nodding.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But it's
we
good.
were just trying to time it with the 130. What we thought you were gonna walk in. So I was like, as soon as Flex walks in, that's when we stop.
Oh.
Yeah, and we just didn't see you walk in, so we just assumed that.
No, see that door there? I got my own private entrance right there.
Oh, well, that's not fair.
It's fair to me.
Yeah, it's fair for you.
It's fair to this guy.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Absolutely.
Snuck
No,
it.
it's great.
We really appreciate it. Thank you for
course.
having us, and thank you for taking the time.
Of course, guys.
Yes,
Um,
thank you so much. This is
Well,
awesome.
You've done a lot of cool things. I feel like this is a good time to wrap it up.
Absolutely.
But to everybody out there, or maybe even to us, or what would be the best advice you could give in
Yeah.
terms of just like following your dreams and doing what you want to do?
It's your dream. It's not anybody else's. And if you've got that goal and that pull in your heart, just go for it. You know, I've got something in my office. It's basically a ticket stub, and it says like, you got one life. Take that ticket. One life, one shot. Can't live it on anybody else's terms. You got to live it on your own. And if you got that opportunity to do something, go for it. You know, I'd rather attempt something and fail than not do it at all and live in regret. And a lot of people live in regret. A lot of people wish they, you know, went for something, picked up the phone, or, you know, chased an opportunity, but at that point in time, it was not in their comfort zone. Guess what? Chasing anything great isn't fucking comfortable. You got to go for it. Makes you uncomfortable until it becomes comfy. Cliche as fuck, but it is what it is. And anything that I've done in life hasn't been comfy. I can remember all the good stuff, but if I really thought about it, what I've done to get there, it's a journey.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I'm only remembering the good stuff because it's the feeling of,
Yeah.
I done it. And that can be from the smallest of things to the biggest of things in life. And my message is just go for it. Have a plan, even if it's a little rough. Just put it out there, and in fact, maybe get a book and be like, you know, from the front of the book, say start, at the back finish, and if you have to write it backwards. At least you've got a blueprint there too. Mm-hmm. I've got scribbles, I've got notes, I've got comments, I've got words of affirmation, I've got all these different things in multiple different books throughout the years, and sometimes I like to go back and check and read and see what I was doing and what I was going through at that time, because I put everything down, the good, bad and the ugly. And you forget about it. But then I can remember writing it when, as soon as I read it, like, wow, that was a fucking shit day. You know, I remember my back was against the wall. Skip forward a couple of pages, like, there's the break. That's what I was wanting. And everything is an opportunity for a break, you know. The door closes, it's like, okay, it wasn't meant to be. I see that in everything too. Not to go all over the place, but I see that in everything, you know. You know, from something silly, when it jumps to the top of my head, I write the whole text out to somebody. You know, the days of phones now, you put somebody calls or everything else, you go back and that text disappears. It's like, oh my God. I have to say, instead of getting mad, I'd be like, you know what? It wasn't meant to be. I got to write it a little differently. Got to attack this a little better, or whatever it is, you know. It wasn't meant to be, just find another way, but don't give up. Giving up is, unfortunately, a massive percentage of this population, and them the ones that are in the comment section telling you why you fucking suck. Because their life fucking sucks. Because they didn't go for what they wanted, so they want to make sure that you or anybody else wants to feel what they feel, because they don't have success. Because anybody who's got success at the top of the level or any type of top of the tree, you don't hear them talking shit on anybody. You know, they've gone through their own struggles. They know what it feels like, and they want somebody to go through it as well, but also, you know, get through it on the other side. Most people just want you to struggle and fail.
Yeah.
And I'm the complete opposite. I want to see you guys do well, go for your dreams, go for your goals. You guys behind the screens, just go for it, whatever it is. Could be just being a better dad, could be, you know, being Mr. Olympia, whatever it is. That's your goal, your dream. Nobody else's.
Hell yeah.
Fuck them all.
Love it.
All right. Flex Lewis,
All right,
ladies and
guys.
gentlemen.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Ooh.
Heck
All right,
yeah.
guys.
And we're out.